What are you at, everybody? What are you at today? I don't know, but I'll tell you what I'm at. I am at checking out a video for Alexander Lilly, one of my awesome patrons, said I'd like you to check out the Star Spangled Banner as you've never heard it. Apparently, this is a video about the creation or how the song was made of the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, yeah, I'm just a Canadian. I've heard that song many times. Through sporting events and everything like that. But it'd be interesting. And I don't know very much about American history. Some of it, though, picked up on a lot of it since I watch so much American television. Like the rest of the world does. But anyways, so this is going to be interesting. A little bit of a history lesson for me, I'm assuming. Maybe it's music, maybe it's not. I have no idea what I'm getting into. But thanks for recommending it, Alex, because you're freaking awesome. And let's just dive into it, everybody. Let's go. The Star Spangled Banner as you've never heard it. Make sure I'm recording here. I am. Okay, that's good. That's good.
There was a lawyer once. His name was Francis Scott Key.
Okay.
He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the National Anthem. It is our song as an American.
Oh, I've heard it.
We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story.
I don't have a clue.
Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners.
Okay, that's good.
They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange.
Okay.
On the appointed day in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis.
Well, that's good, because, come on now. You get both sides, you both got prisoners, but they're only going to do it one for one. Oh, man, who gets randomly chosen? Can you imagine being there? Being a prisoner of war, on a boat, surrounded by the enemy at the time, And, just having to be like, oh, man, I hope you pick me so I can get back, Oh, my God. But I don't think they were... You can let me know, but were they, they weren't cruel to any of the prisoners, right? Did they execute them? Or, I don't know. Was there any of that, dark stuff happening? Or was it just, they just took the POWs for the sake of taking them and having some leverage or whatever? I have no idea. I'm not a big history buff, so you guys can fill me in below.
Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free.
All of them.
He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains.
Okay.
As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem. He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter.
Won't matter.
And Francis Scott Key said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth.
Ooh,
he said,
buddy.
how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots.
Oh, wow.
And he said, that's the entire British war fleet.
Gonna blow it up with a can of fire.
He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway.
Wow.
He said,
the war
you
is
can't
over.
shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort.
That looks like the Pentagon. Is that is there any kind of significance with that in the Pentagon or anything? I have no idea, guys. So you know what? Excuse me for my ignorance, but I barely know my Canadian history. All right, I'm a simple guy. All right, I definitely don't know much about American history. So, but I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty cool though. Pretty cool. I like that. That's a pretty cool looking setup there. I like this. I'm learning.
He said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart?
Okay.
He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately.
Oh. Okay.
And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule.
Okay, that's the alternative.
Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen. And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall.
So they are going to let the prisoners go, but they're only going to get back to this town, this fort town, and within 2 hours they're going to have a choice of either surrender or get blown to bits. So it's freedom for a very short amount of time. It's almost like, yeah, you're free, but you might die. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
And as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no reliefs. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is.
What?
What have they done with the flag?
Oh, yeah, right.
Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us.
Because as long as it's up, they're standing, right? They're not surrendering.
1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling.
3 hours of shelling? Woo!
Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb, and Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down.
The flag was still there. That's a part of the song, right? Is that the significance of it? Oh my God, I'm putting it together. I'm learning things.
The admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees.
Ooh, powerful quote. Holy crap.
The admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down.
Oh, they're going to focus the flag.
He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that.
Really? Why?
But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful.
Really?
All that he could hear was the men down below praying.
Pretty powerful emotional point in history here.
God,
holy crap.
Keep that flag flying.
Keep the flag.
Where we last saw it.
Now, I don't know, everybody. Just so you know, I don't have a clue how the story ends. I don't know whether the flag stayed up or whether they blew the shit out of it or whether the prayers were answered and the flag was still there. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to find out. This is fun. All right.
Sunrise came. He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds.
Oh.
The flagpole itself was at a crazy angle.
Okay.
But the flag was still at the top.
It was still there, still at the top.
Francis
shredded
Scott
a
Key
bit.
went aboard.
Ooh.
And immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits.
Wow, what a
and
strong
when it had
flag.
fallen. But men, fathers, who knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground, although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly.
Okay, I've seen that. I've seen this image before, right? It's like all the bodies, isn't it? Like piled up, or like people like, or like dead soldiers or whatever, and they're like doing whatever they can to hold the flag up. This is pretty freaking powerful when you think of it. Like the fact that they're like, this represent this flag. Sure, it's just a flag, maybe. So, you know, it depends how you look at it. But to them, it represented so much more than a flag, because it's like their whole point is this flag. We're gonna get this flag to not fly, and that'll like break your morale. You'll be defeated then. You know, that's to show that we are the superior power, or whatever. But the people were so defiant. They're like, nope. You know, we're like they said, we'd rather like die on our feet, holding our flag high above our head, than on our knees and give in. So, whole body, emotional, powerful.
Until they died. Their bodies were removed and others took their place.
Okay.
Francis Scott Key said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle were patriots' bodies.
Wow.
He penned the song,
Woo.
"Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
Okay.
or the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
That's what it
gave
is.
proof through the night that the flag was still there.
Woo. Now the song is going to make so
Oh,
much.
say does that star-spangled banner yet fly and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave."
The song is going to make so much more sense to me now. Holy crap. I don't know. I just figured it was always referring to like back to the different world wars and like World War One or two, and it was just like, you know, that they still represented the flag while the tanks were going around blasting each other and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's just how I always pictured it in my head. I never pictured it was like this whole setup. Oh my God, I'm learning. I can't speak with this Invisalign in. I apologize for the lisp. But anyways.
The debt was demanded. The price, it was paid.
Oh, say,
Here we go.
can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
I thought it was hailed, but it's held. Okay.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
I don't know who's singing this. It doesn't mention who's singing it, but whoever it is got a beautiful kind of like, I don't know, choir kind of voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking it. There's so many celebrities over the years that have got up and sang this at sporting events and then, you know, that kind of thing. And wasn't there like, didn't like, back in the day, I remember like, I think it was Roseanne maybe got up and sang, and like she got like booed off because the way she was singing. Now, was it because she sang bad? Or is it because she was making a mockery of it? I don't know. But people take it very seriously when you got to sing this song. It represents the country, and even if it's just a sporting event, it's a big deal. I can see why.
For the red
So many people died over it.
hearts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare,
Oh, red glare. Okay.
the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Wow.
that our flag was still there.
lot of these are lyrics too. I thought they were something else, like the word proof. I didn't think it was proof. I thought it was something else. So I'm actually getting to hear the lyrics properly for the first time as well. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Is that banner yet wave?
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow.
Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Here we go.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beautiful, beautiful song. Now it has so much more significance. Overall, I got a history lesson here. Thanks for recommending that, Alex. You know what I learned a lot. I'm going to understand that song a lot more now. Whenever I hear it, I'm going to be like, holy crap, do you know what happened with that? How many people died for that? And the whole reason why it still stands is because bodies were holding it up. Because they fell, they still just made sure that they were holding it up. Woo, buddy. Anyways, comment below, let me know what you thought of it. You guys enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit the like button. Comment some more cool videos that you want me to check out. Peace and love, everybody. Peace, peace, peace. I'll see you next one. All right, take care. Bye-bye.